If you brought a photo of a loved one this morning and have not yet had a chance to place it on our altar, I want to give you that opportunity now. I have a photo. This is a photo of my friend Sam and his beloved wife, Julie. And I absolutely, even though the top is cut off, I love this photo of the two of them because I love the smile on Sam's face. Sam had a smile that was contagious, but we didn't often see it. It usually morphed right into a raucous belly laugh. And I don't remember all the things we laughed about, but I remember what it felt like when he made me laugh. So I'm going to put my photo right here. I wonder if anyone here has a friend who makes them laugh like that. I mean, like really laugh, like belly laugh, like laugh so hard that you cry kind of laugh. Any friends like that out there? It's hard for me to see you. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. And I wonder if there's anyone out there who has a friend who is there for you when you cry. The kind of person who says it's all right, but doesn't make you try to stop crying. The kind of person who accepts your tears and loves you through them. Do you have friends like that? My friend Sam was that kind of friend. We were that kind of friend to each other. When I was sad, Sam reminded me that being sad was a part of being human. And when Sam was sad, he asked for what he needed. And that was often just some time together. And he could make me laugh harder than anyone that I have ever known. A lot of people thought that Sam's jokes were really, really corny, like grown kind of corny, but I thought they were hilarious. Julie always used to say, "It's good he has you." She would say, "It's good I have you too," because she had to listen to the jokes all the time. I think about Sam a lot at this time of year. I think about him for two reasons. The first is that his birthday was October 28th. And so his birthday was just this past Friday. And he would have been 42 years old. And the second reason I think about him is that Sam is not 42 years old. Sam died 9 years ago. And his death was unexpected and it was tragic. And as you can tell, it broke my heart. And it broke the heart of many, many, many people who loved him. And so at this time of year, when people begin to decorate their houses and their yards like they do nowhere else in Atlanta, I mean, really, we pull out all the stops. We've got ghosts and goblins and spooks and spiders. At this time of year, when the weather turns cool, when the leaves begin to fall, when the air is crisp and the nights grow darker, I think about how people for thousands of years have felt that there is something special about this time of year. Something special that connects us to those who have gone before. Laura Beth shared with us about the many traditions that happen this time of year, celebrating that thinning of the veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Celebrations like Samhain and All Souls and All Saints' Day and Dia de los Muertos, they help us bring those we have loved and lost closer in a way that can sometimes feel a little spooky, but also comforting and special. And when we remember our dead in joyful ways, we are reminded of the preciousness of their lives and the preciousness of our lives too. At this time of year, when the spirit world feels closer, I think about my friend who is no longer in this world and yet lives on in the memories of everyone who loved him, including me. My friend who lives on in his daughter and in my daughter who is named in his honor. I think about my friend who lives on in the ways that I experience our friendship even now after he is gone. Because sometimes I feel that Sam is close to me, making me laugh again, or comforting me when I cry. And sometimes when I listen very, very, very closely, I hear his voice telling me what he thinks about something. He was so smart. Or sharing advice, which he also liked to do a lot. Or just telling a funny, corny joke. And I don't always understand these experiences, but I am grateful for them. I wonder if you have a friend or a family member, perhaps a human family member, perhaps a furry family member, who has died. A lot of people. Because this is a part of being human too, right? That we love people and we love animals who are mortal and will eventually die. And this is an experience that we are not alone in. It is a sorrow that we all share. And when we share our memories and our photos and our experience of those who we have loved, who have died, just like we have this morning, the burden of that sorrow is also shared. And we are able to celebrate together the joy and the love we have experienced with those who are no longer with us in body, but are always with us in spirit. In our reading this morning, the poet says, "Plant a tree in place of a grave. Plant a patch of trees in place of a cemetery." And why does he say this? Wu Sheng, who wrote that poem, was a farmer and an environmental activist from Taiwan. And he, in fact, did plant a patch of trees in real life. He planted a forest on land near his farm. And so he writes about the power of the spirits of the trees. And when he writes about the wind in the branches and bird song from the treetops, those are all things that he had experienced. He writes, "The trees are in touch with each other, as if the memories of the deceased linked with each other underground, and new and tender shoots sprout contentedly, each affirming the fruit of cultivation. We have planted our own patch of trees here this morning. And the memories of our beloved dead are linked in our collective remembering. And new and tender shoots are sprouting because every memory, every shared moment recalled brings something of the dead into the land of the living and affirms our connection with those we have loved, those we still love, affirms the cultivation of family ties and the bonds of friendship. And even though those we love may die, those bonds live on in our remembering, in our listening for the ways that our loved ones speak to us through trees and leaves and the wind and darkening days, and especially in the ways that we bring what they taught us into our own lives. And thankfully, we do not face that pain alone. Because the rituals of the celebrations of All Souls and All Saints and Dia de los Muertos and Samhain and Halloween are time that we spend with family and friends. And so remembrance becomes joyful. And when we together tune our hearts to listen in a special way at this special time of year, to hear the breath of our ancestors. I'm looking for my tissue. That's what I'm doing. Sometimes you need one. Oh, Sam. It's when we tune our hearts to listen in that special way. That's when we hear the breath of our ancestors, right? That's when we hear the whispers of our beloveds. That's when we hear the echoes of shared tears and shared laughter. We hear our loved ones' secret songs and we hold them in our hearts, and they live on in us. So let us sing now together and see if we can hear our beloveds in the music of our closing song.